Welcome to our Breakfast Club call. Today is Thursday, April 25th, 2024. And my name is Pamela Pacheco. I have the absolute honor, pleasure, and privilege of being your host this morning. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome. I remember when I first embarked upon entrepreneurship over a decade ago, I was looking forward to these type of morning mentorship calls. I was not only looking forward to these type of calls because of the information I was going to receive, but also the inspiration I was going to receive. How you start your day sets the tone for your day. So kudos to each and every single one of you guys that decided to start your day with some inspiration, with some fire, with some positivity. Garbage in is garbage out. Greatness in is greatness out. So give yourselves a round of applause. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I am so excited to be here with you guys today, as always, and every Thursday. Super grateful for each and every single one of you guys. If you missed last week's call, make sure to log on to our Chosen Global YouTube page. We spoke about the how to make decisions, determiners while making decisions. Absolutely amazing. So today we are going to talk about 3 keys to influence. And this is influence. Note takers are history makers. If you are taking notes, 3 keys to influence. And when you are encouraged, when you are building a team or you are influencing people around you, and this is something that even though it is industry specific, this is world relatable. And what this means is that whether you can apply this into your lives, you can apply this into your careers, you can take this into your church, into your community. So these are practical things that you can utilize not only while building your network marketing business or while building your actual business itself, but these are things that you can use each and every single day. So as we're taking notes, the number one thing that we can do to influence, type it in the chat. What do you think is the number one thing that we can do to influence those people around us, influence our friends, our family, our community, the people we love, the people we care about? Yes, yes, yes. I see the ideas coming in. I absolutely love that. Awesome, awesome. So bring value, being a servant. These are all absolutely phenomenal. And that goes into what the topic is. It's encouraging. Yes, Tiffany, walk the walk. So the reality is that encouragement costs nothing to give, but it is priceless to receive. And a few ways that we can encourage our teammates or just encourage the people that we care about. Absolutely, Lisa, Michelle, Tiffany, walk the walk, being a servant leader with a servant heart, bringing value, but it is providing support for your teammates, right? Providing support for the people that you care about. It also has to do with recognition, acknowledging and celebrating achievements, whether big or small. And that goes a very, very long way, because that when, we say all the time, grown men and women cry for it, right? Grown men and women die for it, babies cry for it. And that recognition is absolutely of the essence, because it makes people feel like they're doing something right. And no matter how small something may seem to someone else, it goes a very long way. So that encouragement is everything. And another way that we can encourage the people that we care about is by providing that support, right? Providing that support. And a lot of you ladies alluded to that earlier, when you're talking about bringing value and you're talking about having a servant heart and you're talking about, walking the walk. One of the ways that you encourage people is just by being their support system, right? Being their support system, and whether that support system you're providing includes training and development. Like we just had our RTE, and the next one is June 8th. If you are not registered, make sure you are registered to secretdirectevents.com. But also that training and development can be in just a quick fast start as soon as a new member gets started. See, even with somebody going to an RTE, and it's never to take anything away from our amazing speakers, I always just sit down with the person that I'm talking to and that I just got started, and I go through the list with them. I help them actually write their list, because how many people are anything like me? Raise your hand when the person that got you started told you, go make a list. Did you go home and do it? I don't know. It took me a while. A lot of y'all are better than me, right? And if you're on my team, you're like, we had an option to do that, because we get the list done right immediately when you get started, because the longer the list, the longer the paycheck. But training and development is a very, very huge way that we provide encouragement for our teammates. Here's another thing, is the communication. Maintaining open and transparent communication channels to address concerns and share feedback. And this is absolutely something that is non-negotiable, because it's not only is it something that we need to talk often, but we need to talk early and often. And communication is one of those things that it's always best when addressed, right? It's always best when addressed. And the greatest of the reality is that when we are able to communicate together, we provide a sense of encouragement, because when the more that you communicate, the less room there is for any ambiguity, the less room there is for any miscommunication. And that communication is everything. So maintaining that open and transparent communication with your teammates is absolutely one of the ways that we encourage them. Another way is by goal setting, right? Or leading by example. So setting clear and achievable goals, both individual and team oriented, to keep everyone not only encouraged, but also motivated with their eyes on the prize. And sometimes that requires for you to go back. Now we're in quarter 2. So, hey, let's go back and see some of the things that went really well. And I love to use the sandwich technique, right? It's like build, break, build. I love to talk about what are all the positive things, because I always want the positivity. I want that to be at the forefront of anybody. So I talk about what are the positive things? What are the great things? What are the wins? Let's celebrate all of the achievements. Give yourself grace for not getting to where you wanted to be. However, also give yourself something to reach forward to, right? That vision for your future, that vision for your business, it is what's going to pull you when motivation is not pushing you. So making sure that we're talking about that early and often. Leading by example, one of the greatest ways to encourage our teammates, that is our extended family, is demonstrating dedication, that level of professionalism, and a positive attitude to inspire our team, because nobody wants a negative Nancy. But let's be real, right? Or the Johnny Rain Cloud all the time. But let's be real, life can be life in sometimes. And we're not always at our highest and best use. We may not be always at a peak performance, but it always is important for us to have that perspective and just reach up. Reach up if you ever find yourselves discouraged, or you ever find yourself that you're just not in a happy space or in a positive space. Reach up to your upline, to your sponsor, to your leadership, right? Never go down. Never say that to your teammates. Here's another way to encourage our teammates and encourage our family is incentives. Providing rewards or bonuses for reaching milestones or exceeding targets. We're actually going to be launching a contest going into the RTE, and coming out of the RTE, going into Freedom Academy. So these are just little things that go a long way, but that allow the builders to build, but also just encourages people. If all they want to do is say, hey, I just want to be the person that helps with the calls. I just want to be the person that welcomes people with a big smile, because how amazing is our Secret Service? They are like the heartbeat of our events, right? We could not do what we do without them. So there's so many different incentives where people can find value within our familyship. So another way that we encourage people is by being that support system, offering guidance, mentorship, and resources to help our teammates and our team members succeed. Also, the team building, fostering a sense of camaraderie through our team building activities and events. So, for example, we were supposed to have an in-person launch at Gran Hacienda. Well, immediately the person pivoted, and we're like, okay, let's do a launch in the living room. So it's different ways that you can still encourage through what it is that is going on, because no matter what it is that how you're building your business, people can always find encouragement through your action. People can always find encouragement through what it is that you are doing. So having that goes a very, very long way. And the empowerment, believe it or not, is just encouraging autonomy and initiative. And it allows the team members to take ownership of their works and decisions. Number 2, how do we influence? 3 keys to influence. Number 2 is modeling. Leaders teach what they know and reproduce who they are. whether you are modeling someone in communication skills, whether you are being someone and you're like, well, how can people model me for building a network marketing business? Well, goes back to the communication skills, right? That's not only something that you can encourage, but that is also something that you can model by emphasizing clear and effective communication with, whether it's within your teammates or even prospects. How are you talking about what the presentation looks like? Are you talking about what the changes look like? I always tell people, whether you have guests or not, get on the Zooms. Every time I'm on the Zoom, every time I see, whether it's Maximo Laura, whether it's Jared Ojeda, whether it's Delicia, whether it's so many of our amazing leaders, Mel, and I absolutely love just logging on to their presentations, even when there are no guests that I have. Why? Because I understand that when you have guests, you need the Zoom, you need the launch party, you need the secret social, you need the travel party. But when you don't, it needs you. And why does it need you? Maybe because you're going to go ahead and provide a testimony. Maybe your story is what's going to help somebody be like, me too. Because people all need that aha moment when they're watching a presentation, right? But sometimes you just needed to learn. I'm always learning. Life is about constant and never ending improvement. So giving yourself grace to do that as well. Adaptability. One of the key things that as a leader, it is so important for our teammates to be able to model is the adaptability, being flexible in adapting to different strategies and approaches based on the needs of our network, based on the needs of our team, based on the needs of our leadership, based on the need of what is just going on in the world, right? So one of the things that we always, like Jared says, we keep it hot over here, honest, open, and transparent. One of the key things that we say, okay, how can we adapt to when there is an issue going on with manufacturing or there's an issue going on with products? Well, just overstock on them. Overstock on them so you don't ever have to run out of energy. Overstock on them so that you can be the person that people go to when they run out of vanilla protein, when they run out of greens, right? Shout out to those people that overstock more than I did because I'm reaching out to them. So, and that is the beautiful thing about adaptability, because you can just find a solution. The more that you tell your mind that you made a decision because you killed off all other options and you're not going to pout, you're not going to complain. You're the CEO of your business. So focus on what it is that you want to expand. So being adaptable, it's just flexibility, but that willingness, yes, Max, to learn and to change, because it helps us grow, but it also helps our teammates know what to do in the event that that happens. It's just focusing. Like, the products not being available do not make me skip a beat, because we have so much value with our travel and lifestyle membership. Everybody that we're getting on board, they're just more excited about the travel. The products, of course, they're world class. Of course, they're top tier. But I'm not focusing on that right now because I don't want that to expand right now. What I want to expand is just people getting the membership. So people seeing the value, me showing people, listen, I went to Cat Williams, I paid $20. It was $100+ my friend paid, and he sat in the nosebleed section. 300, I sat in the one. I just went to Bad Bunny concert in Philly. I spent less than $200, and it was 100 section. My friend spent $600. Sheesh, right? So it's just those stories, because facts tell, but stories not only sell, guys, but stories compel. It's empowerment and encouragement for your teammates. And these are the things that you want to model. So that adaptability goes right into also the knowledge sharing valuable insights, tips, and the knowledge about the services, about the products being marketed, as well as effective sales and marketing techniques, like what's working in your organization right now, right? Whether you want to type it in the chat or you want to reach up or reach out to people, those are all the things that people can model, because if something's working for you, I want to know. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And this is why we have these calls, because it empowers, encourages people, but it also just lets them know, like, hey, better is ahead, no matter what it looks like, no matter what it feels like. Here's another great thing, and some people not going to like this one. We want our teammates to model consistency. Here's the reality. Maintaining consistency in our efforts, no matter how small it is, whether it's reaching out to new prospects, whether it's following up with old prospects, with former customers, providing support to our teammates, reaching out to new people, being the person that's in the chats, on the Zooms, being the person that's like, hey, I'm not going to wait for my upline to promote the calls. I'm going to promote the calls. What can you be consistent with? Because I bet if right now you can think of what is one more way that I can be consistent. Maybe it's not in you showing 3 to 5 people every single day. Maybe it's not you showing 3 to 5 people a week. Maybe it's you not acquiring a new customer. Can you help promote a call? Can you help encourage someone? Can you help empower someone? Can you rewrite your brand new list? Can you put something in the chat that's going to encourage people? Because these are all behaviors that we want to be modeled, right? Here's another thing that we want to model: relationship building. Focus on building genuine relationships with our teammates, with your customers, because that trust and rapport is crucial in not only network marketing and in business, but just in life, right? It's interesting because last night I was at a private women's dinner, and this woman was talking about the power of relationships and building genuine friendships. And she was like, do you know that it takes 36 hours, right? Let me make sure I'm looking at my notes correctly. She said it takes 36 hours, 36 hours when you're talking about actually building a friendship with someone. 36 hours. Like you cannot put a price on social capital, right? It's priceless. But she said 3 things to deepen quality relationships. Number 1, positive shared experiences. Number 2, vulnerability. And number 3, healthy conflict. I know number 3, some people are like, a healthy conflict. Like, listen, if you are on the other side of healthy conflict, there is a platonic, beautiful relationship waiting to flourish. And I love that. And it's not 36 hours. I'm sorry. It is 34 hours. It's 34 hours to move someone from an acquaintance to a friend. So who can you clock more hours with? Who can you, whether it's you just calling people, like I love that my friends, my teammates are my friends. My teammates, my leaders on our team, they understand that they could go ahead and call me for anything. It's not just business. If they need to pray about anything, they know they can call me. And I love that for me. I love that for them. You have to do your best to build authentic, genuine covenant relationships, because those genuine relationships are what is going to go a very, 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 very long way. I could spend all day on that. Leadership. Model leadership means leading by example and inspiring your team through action, through dedication, through work ethic, through a positive attitude. The reality is that I could be doing all of the motivational calls in the world. I could be talking about all of the things that I used to do and all of the accomplishments I used to have, but yesterday's touchdowns do not win today's games. Yesterday's price is not today's price. And the reality is, this is why I'm always working, because I love to lead by example of not what I have done, but what am I currently doing? How am I currently inspiring people through my action? It's not just words, because talk is cheap, right? If you agree with that, let me see if you guys are getting value from this. Type it in the chat. But that is so, so important, because a lot of people is like, I heard this years ago in the industry of network marketing, and it was like, what's the best thing about network marketing? Is like success. What's the worst thing about network marketing? Success. Is like a little bit of success is just as bad as a lot of success, because when you think you have got to the moment that you have arrived, honey, you are on your way back. And actions definitely speaks very, very loud, Lisa. Absolutely. Sometimes I know in my chats, they're like, another one? Yes, right? I'm not posting every single day. And then when I do, it's like, welcome to the team. Bless this person. Yes, like we're doing this because it's always showing people like, hey, this is what it looks like. You don't got to move at this speed with this intensity. This comp plan is built for speed. This is what it looks like if you ever want to go to this level. This is what it looks like to be doing 3 to 5 a day every single day. This is what it looks like to be consistent. This is what it looks like to just lead by example. I always want to be that person that my team could say, no matter what, she's leading by example. Absolutely important. Another way that people can model is in your personal branding and your social media presence. Y'all know I'm like the branding person. I'm super big on leveraging our personality traits to build a personal brand within your business, within your network, within the community that you serve, within the community that you live in. Maintaining that strong social media presence by sharing valuable insights, tips, whether it's on your journey, whether it's in a conversational matter. And it's just very similar to our interactions. But guys, your social media, it's your perceived asset in the marketplace. You take you everywhere you go. And that's why it's so important to make sure that you are being modeled from your brand, because that brand has to be world class, because we are representing the sexiest lifestyle club in the world. And your girl's always gonna keep it 150% with y'all. Some of y'all social medias don't look like that. It look like infomercials. So let's do better at just adding value to people's lives and making sure that whenever we post something, ask ourselves this: is it in alignment with who I want to be known for? What I want to be known for, excuse me. Is it in alignment with what I want people's perception to be, what I want people to experience? Is this world class? Is this representative of the sexiest lifestyle club in the world? So that social media presence and your personal branding definitely goes a very, very, very long way. Another way that we can model in this business is role-playing exercises. So this goes kind of back to the training and development that we were talking about earlier, when encouraging somebody new or somebody existing to kind of relaunch their business or get started in a very fast way. But it's also having those role-playing exercises. I love teaching people by action, but I also just love teaching them by experience. Sometimes if we're in a presentation, and this happens more in person than it does on Zoom, right? I'm like, hey, you're doing the first half today. And they'll look at me like a deer in the headlights, like, huh? Am I really? Yes, you are, because it is time for you to grow. So let's role play. And before, sometimes that looks like, and again, this goes back to building relationships with people. You got to know who to push and who to pat, right? You have to know people's colors. You have to know who to push and who to just pat in the back, who to encourage. You got to know your yellows from your reds, your greens from your blues, your reds, your assertive, your charge-driven people, right? Your go-getters, your yellows want to save the world. They're just all about love and peace. Your blues are your turn-up, people that want to have fun. Your greens are your super analytical, but you just got to know where people are at in life. And yes, the colors are indicative of that, but also it just takes the time for you building those relationships. Like, I know I can tell you about each and every single one of my teammates. The ones that not only are building, and even the ones that aren't. When people get started, I'm like, what are your kids' names? What are your parents' names? Like, what are things that matter to you? Where are you at in life right now? Because a lot of times when I'm reaching out to people, it's not just, hey, can we go show somebody today? It's, how's your heart doing? I always ask people that I love that question. How's your mental doing? I'm not even like, oh, how are you? Like, I love to ask people, like, just how's your heart? How's your mental? How can I pray for you? How can I be in alignment with where it is that you want God to take you, to where it is that is your vision? Because I'm not here for a little bit. We're gonna be doing life together. I don't want just people that is a transactional relationship. I want people to know, like, we're gonna go deep here. Like, I'm that deep person. So we gonna know off rip, like, yeah, this is what we're gonna do. But just asking, checking in on people. But the role-playing exercises go in because it allows you to know where people are at. And sometimes the role-playing exercises, you think that somebody's just gonna do a little bit, and they do a lot. And I love getting surprised. And I don't get surprised because I have very low expectations for people. I get surprised because sometimes I don't do the role playing fast enough, if I'm being honest with you guys. And I love doing the role playing when people are going to invite, because it allows me to know, did you just get what I spent an hour talking to you about? Did you just get about what it is that we are working on, or where it is that we're going? So those role-playing exercises definitely go a very, very long way. Yes, Max says experience is one of the greatest way to learn. Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Another way that we can model is having feedback and adaptation. And it goes kind of back to the encouraging through adaptability, but continuously collecting feedback from team members and just adjusting communication strategies to better align with the conversational style or their relationship style, their personality style, and being able to maximize that effectiveness. And number three, it is coach. The best way we can influence is by coaching people. Call out potential and bring awareness to blind spots. Coaching our team in building a network marketing business and building their brand and building anything worthwhile. It's guiding them through various strategies, but also providing that support. And some of the ways that we do that is, like we were talking about earlier, is leading by example, right? But it's also the education and training. It's providing comprehensive training sessions, making sure people are registered for the RTE, making sure people know that everybody's going to be in St. Louis. Everybody's going to be in St. Louis. That should be the language. See you in St. Louis. Everybody's coming to that. Like I tell people all the time, like, listen, do I want you to go to the June RTE, the next RTE? Absolutely. But I also understand that it may or may not fit in your schedule. It's a Saturday, and even it being a month and a half away, sometimes that's a little too close for people. And okay, and I give people grace in that, but I let them know that that big event is non-negotiable if you want to win big here. If you want to bring big here, it is non-negotiable. Yes, Michelle says trading is my jam. Absolutely. Everybody needs that reset. It don't matter if your car a Bentley or if it's a Toyota. It needs some gas. It needs some charge. If it's electric, it still needs charge. Okay. These are what the events do, but you literally get to feel the heartbeat of the company. You get to feel the heartbeat of the leadership, the people. And that is one of the greatest ways to coach people up. Leading by example, demonstrating successful networking practices, but just business building practices, team building, people building, all of those things. Goal setting. One of the greatest ways to just coach people up is just helping them set SMART goals. SMART goals are specific goals, measurable goals, attainable goals, right? Setting goals that are realistic, but giving a time stamp on them. So providing and setting goals that are realistic and achievable goals, both short-term and long-term, to keep us all focused. And notice I'm not saying them, because we all need to be focused, right? We all need to hold each other accountable. But I have weekly calls with people on our team because it is so important for us to just be helping each other, for us to be holding each other accountable to the level of greatness that we desire, to living out our wildest dreams, to living out our potential. God's gift to us is unlimited potential. What we do with it is our gift back to him and our gift back to humanity. Another way that we can coach people is just encouraging that persistence. Emphasize the importance of persistence and resilience in the face of challenges and rejection. Type a P in the chat if you've ever needed to be persistent. If you've ever realized the importance of persistence and resilience in the face of challenges and rejection. Absolutely. And if you haven't been living enough, right? We've all can relate to this in some way, shape, or form. We've all had to be persistent. We've all had to show up and show out and just be resilient in the face of challenges and rejections. And I believe that sometimes it's God testing us. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want something so bad? How committed are you to these goals? How committed are you to the God vision, to that dream that he placed on in your heart? And I tell people all the time, is like, one yes from him outweighs a million mans from no. A million no's from man. He already authorized my victory. I already know I'm a champion because my identity is based on him, right? So it's you realizing that persistence is something that we can all model. We can all emphasize the importance of being persistent and resilient in the face of challenges, rejections, adversity, even being persistent when things are going great. When that momentum comes, the hardest thing is to get momentum. The hardest thing also is to lose momentum because you got to get it back. So when you got a little bit of momentum, pour some gasoline on that thing, right? Put some gasoline on that fire. It is so, so important. Another reason, another way that we can coach people up in this business is just continuous improvement, encouraging ongoing learning, encouraging ongoing just activity, seeing what business building styles work for people. Some people, they just want to gather customers. That's amazing. That works. That builds residual. Trust me, that makes them have fun. Lisa and Denise will tell you, Kim will tell you, Suhani will tell you. Yes, right? You're still impacting people's lives. You're still living your best life. But also knowing where people are at, how do they want to build? What is their jam? Do they want to be the person that has agents? Some people don't. Some people, they just want to focus on trips. Amazing. Whatever it is that they want, nurture that, encourage that. And also, it's one of the things that how we can coach people is the celebration of the achievements. And it goes back to the first way when we're talking about influencing people through encouragement, right? And modeling. And now we're talking about coaching, but really and truly, it's those little achievements and milestones. Our teammates not only remember how you made them feel in this business, but they remember how you made them feel in life. And that's you fostering a positive and supportive team culture, which is going to keep people not only excited about this business, but just excited and empowered about life. I love what John Maxwell, he's one of my favorites in the world when it comes to leadership, when it comes to just entrepreneurship. And he says, true leadership cannot be awarded, it cannot be appointed or assigned. It only comes from influence. It only comes from influence. And the reality is that we often see these people that they're just saying this and saying that, but I'm looking at the people that are doing. I'm looking at the people that said, hey, no matter what it looked like yesterday, today's a brand new day. I got brand new mercies. I got brand new goals. I got brand new opportunities. If I got a pulse, he got a purpose. And that is how we continuously work forward. This is how we continuously march forward. This is how we continuously know, like, this is the real work that we're doing together, because influence is the ability to affect character, to affect development, to affect behavior. But it is the key to effective leadership, whether it's good, whether it's bad. Everyone is influential to some degree. So shaping our teams and shaping our family members for the better, yes, it takes preparation, it takes strategy, it takes work, but the value far outweighs the cost. The juice is definitely worth the squeeze. And the reality is that we all want us to be leaders who influence people in what matters. And it's all about bringing others on the journey, drawing them out of the fringe and into the family. And as influence grows, so does the responsibility to steward it. This has been our Breakfast Club call for Thursday, April 25th, 2024. Breakfast has been served. As always, it is an honor, pleasure, and privilege to serve you. And I will see you guys next week. We're actually having a presentation right after the launch party today that will be on Zoom. So you guys will see all of the details in the chats. Blessings on blessings. As always, grateful to be able to add some value to you guys. Thank you guys so much for going on. Have a great one.